starting here. We stream on YouTube. And we're just waiting for it to, it'll tell me down here when we go live, and then it'll pop in. Couple commercial breaks here. Hey, Brenton. Oops. You know. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Legion Field in Roseburg, Oregon, and tonight's matchup between the Roseburg Indians and the visiting South Medford Panthers. It's Southwest Conference baseball for you today here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. We welcome you in here on a wonderful Tuesday night from Roseburg. Joey Kieran here with you on The Score. Tonight the Indians look to try and take down the Southwest Conference leader, South Medford. They come in winners of 9 straight, and they've got a perfect 10-0 record in conference play. Meanwhile, the Roseburg Indians right now in a group of teams that are battling it out for playoff positioning down the final 2 weeks of the regular season. The Indians come in off of a win against Grants Pass last week. It's been 1 week since the Indians were on the airwaves, as they had their bye over the weekend, did not play on Saturday, and now they get ready for the stretch run with plenty of important games coming up still on the schedule. South Medford, meanwhile, I mentioned 9 straight victories. They haven't played in 10 days either. They have had a couple of rainouts over the weekend that caused them to have a very busy week coming up. 5 games in 5 days for the South Medford Panthers here this week. Going to be a busy one for them as they look to try and find a way to secure the Southwest Conference Championship this season. They are the front runners, and we will lay out how the Southwest Conference looks as we get into the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Plenty to talk about as we get ready for first pitch today between the Indians and the Panthers. This is the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show. Make sure to visit them at 1600 Northwest Hewwood in Roseburg, or give them a call at 673-6525, and that is Dr. Kobernick Family Dental. We'll continue on with more of our pregame show as we make our way towards first pitch. Coming up next, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson with our Fisher-Sarson Home pregame coaches interview. We welcome you into the broadcast, folks. Thanks so much for joining us here on this Tuesday night. As a reminder, I want to let you know today's game is streaming with video online at 541radio.com. You can head there and head to the 1490 The Score homepage to watch today's game here from Legion Field. We'll have more as we continue on with the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show after this 2-minute break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Back here with more of our Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show as we continue on with Roseburg Baseball here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score, and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's time now here in the pregame show to get to our pregame coaches interview, brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. That's Fisher's Hearth and Home. Get a chance to catch up with head coach Troy Thompson here. And coach, guys are coming off of another nice bounce back win against Grants Pass last week, down on their place, and able to come away with a road victory, and then a little bit of downtime for you guys. It's nice to be able to get a victory before you go into a little bit of a break, but for you guys a week off, was it a needed time away from the field a little bit to kind of regroup and get ready for this stretch run, or is it a time that you kind of wish you might have been able to be out there playing games over the weekend?
No, you always want to be playing, that's for sure, but it did come at a good time for us. We came into the week coming into Grants Pass after that South Eugene double up there on that Saturday, and then to come back and get that win on Tuesday gave us a good feeling in our few days off that we had here, and then right back to it, kind of fighting the weather on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but kids did a good job of staying through that, and back out here yesterday and practice and all those things, kind of ready to go again. Hopefully the weather holds for us today and we get this one in today.
You guys you're hitting this stretch run. Things are pretty tight throughout the Southwest Conference. A lot probably going to be decided this week. It seems like there's a lot of very important matchups throughout the conference. But as you guys get into this stretch run, how does the team's kind of psyche, the mentality in the locker room, these guys, how do they seem to be feeling as they come out here day after day, getting out there on the field? Do they seem to be still focused here down the stretch with a group of a lot of young guys that really haven't been in this kind of a situation, fighting for playoff spots and the possibility of staying in that championship chase?
That's just it. The kids have done a great job with that. They come to practice every day. They're happy to be here. They do good work when they are here, so we've been very pleased with that throughout the year, not just this past week, but for the previous however long it's been, several months. So they've done a good job of staying positive and coming to practice every day and getting our work in and improving and all those things. We continue to strive to improve in everything we do, and this is a good time of year to put some of those things to the test here as we get back on the field.
Today's opponent is South Medford. Obviously saw them earlier in the season. Tough series there against them, but they've proven that they are one of the top teams, if not the top team, when it's all said and done here in the Southwest Conference. As you look at kind of how things played out when we were down at Harry and David Field for a doubleheader earlier in the season, what were some of the kind of the big takeaways there that you hope to see the team clean up today to give yourself a better chance to try to win?
Well, remembering that doubleheader, it seems like it was a long time ago, but I still have vivid memories of it for sure. We played them on a Monday, got rained out on that Saturday, went down on a Monday afternoon to Harry and David Field there in Medford, and came out, and we didn't play very well from kind of the get-go. We played poor defense behind our starting pitching, and then offensively we had opportunities to score runs early and didn't get it done in both those games, and we just didn't get it done with that big hit with 2 outs with the runner on. Didn't happen for us that day, and credit South, like you said, they've proven they're kind of the top team in the league, and they've done a great job of staying ahead. They do a great job when they get the lead of continuing to score and do those things. So they're a very good club, very good program, and they've continued to do what they needed to do through a tough league schedule. So, yeah, we have a real challenge ahead of us today against a very good team, but hopefully we're rested and our arms are in order, so we feel good about that, and hopefully we can come out today and challenge them and stay in this ball game.
As we get kind of 6 final games here in the regular season in league play, you guys are in a good spot to try and make that one of those top 4 spots to get into the postseason. As you guys get over these final couple of weeks, what are kind of some of the biggest things you guys try to focus on to try and make sure this team, if things continue to go the way you'd like, is playoff ready?
Just continue to work on the little things that we need to work on. You know, our base running, hitting with runners in scoring position, and continuing to get that quality starting pitching like we've seen throughout our league schedule. We continue to do those things, play solid defense. When we do those things, when we can pitch it well and play good defense, we've stayed in and won quite a few ball games here in our league. And that's something that we need to continue to do. We've got to get good pitching, and we've got to play solid defense behind it. So those things don't change, whether it's beginning of the year, end of the year, or toward the end of the year here with our last 2 weeks in the league schedule. But that focus just doesn't change for us. We try to continue to do those things and continue to try to improve ourselves every day in some aspect. And like I said, the kids have done a good job with that, and hopefully today we can come out and show that.
All right, we get ready for it today. The sun starts to shine a little bit here in the pregame show as we get ready to go with Roseburg and South Medford. We'll thank head coach Troy Thompson for his time here in the pregame. That is your Fisher's Hearth and Home pregame coaches interview. We'll be back with more of the Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show after this here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here at Legion Field, getting ready to go for today's contest. The Roseburg Indians hosting the South Medford Panthers. A single 7-inning Southwest Conference showdown for us here today. Big one as the Indians look to try and remain near the top of the Southwest Conference standings and make that push towards the postseason. Joey Kieran here with you as we start to wrap up our Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show. We'll take a look at your Supercut starting lineups here in just a moment, but taking a look at the setting here real quick for today's matchup. Roseburg comes in on the season. The Indians ranked number 12 by the OSAA. They've won their last game number 18 on the season for them here today. 12-5 overall for the Indians this year, 8-4 in conference play. They currently trail first place South Medford by 3 games in the standings. South Medford comes in ranked number 3 by the OSAA, 10-0 in conference play, 13-3 this season. And the Panthers right now sitting at the top of the standings. Roseburg is in a virtual tie with South Eugene, although South Eugene holds the tiebreaker against the Indians after their doubleheader sweep last Saturday, a week ago from just this last weekend. South Eugene sitting at 9-5. They trail 3 games behind South Medford. Roseburg at 8-4, 3 games behind the leader. Sheldon sits right behind them, a game and a half behind the Indians and the Axe. Sheldon at 6-5, ranked number 23 by the OSAA. North Medford at 4-8 is 7 games back. They're ranked 27th. Grants Pass at number 35 by the OSAA is at 4-9, 7.5 game back of South Medford. And it's currently sitting in last place in the conference is Willamette at 2-12, 10 games behind the leader. They're ranked number 43 by the OSAA. Yesterday, a couple of Southwest Conference games. South Eugene beat North Medford in both games of a doubleheader. South Eugene won 12-1 against the Black Tornado in Game 1. That took only 6 innings to play. And South Eugene won 5-3 in Game 2 of that doubleheader. Other games going on around the Southwest Conference today. Willamette is at North Medford for a single game, and South Eugene is at Sheldon. So that is a look at what else is going on around the Southwest Conference here today. Well, let's go ahead and get into our Supercut starting lineups here as we get ready for first pitch. Coaches meeting at home plate. They are exchanging their lineup cards, so we'll take a look at what our coaches have given us here today. For the South Medford Panthers, led by head coach Ray Smith in his 9th year leading the program, leading things off is Jacob Melton playing in center field, one of the top players in the Southwest Conference this season. Clint Campbell will play at third base. He'll bat second, followed by second baseman Jalen Owens. Jack Thompson, the catcher, will bat cleanup, followed by Jalen Parnell in left field. The shortstop, Zach Ankeny, will hit in the 6th spot, followed by Daniel Schenk, the DH, hitting 7th, and batting for the pitcher, Ricky Bortz. The 8-hitter is Jaron Emerson playing in right field for South Medford, and Robbie Carl, the first baseman, will bat 9th for South Medford. Taking a look at your Supercut starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians, led by head coach Troy Thompson in his 16th year, leading the program. Garrett Russell leads things off for the Indians, playing in center field. Caden Johnson, the second baseman, will bat second. The first baseman is Jonathan Stone, batting third. Brody Black, the DH, will bat in the cleanup spot, hitting for the pitcher Jay Stoffel. Zach Mandera will play at third base. He hits 5th, followed by Cody Johnson, the shortstop, hitting 6th. The 7-hitter is Doran Gillespie, playing in left field. The catcher, Terrell Jacks, hits 8th, and rounding out the starting lineup for the Indians will be Jet Black playing in right field. And that is a look at today's Supercuts starting lineup. Supercuts in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. Roseburg Indians will take the field as they get ready for this one to start. On the mound today for the Indians is Jay Stoffel, who will toe the rubber against South Medford. Stoffel is the third man in the rotation for this Indian squad. The sophomore, though, has had a wonderful season and is currently undefeated in his win-loss record this year. Stoffel this season comes in 30 innings pitched, currently has a 5-0 win-loss record. He has a ERA of 1.167. That's not too shabby there for him. 33 strikeouts to just 11 walks this season. He's allowed 20 hits over those 30 innings. He has given up just 5 earned runs this year. It has been a nice year for the sophomore Jay Stoffel, and the Indians will look for a nice performance from him here today as we get off and rolling. Game 3 of this 3-game season series between the Indians and the Panthers. South Medford took games 1 and 2, a doubleheader down at Harry and David Field earlier this season, and now the Indians look to try and win at least one out of the series against South Medford. Leading things off will be the left-hander, Jacob Melton, one of the top hitters in the Southwest Conference. Last year led the state in home runs. He'll stand in. First pitch from Stoffel, a breaking ball that's in for strike 1, and we are underway. Today's ball game, we finish off our Dr. Kobernick Family Dental pregame show and bring you today's action here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. The 0-1 pitch slapped left side but foul just down the third base line for Jacob Melton. Mentioned Melton leading the state last year in home runs. He this season, I believe he had one against Roseburg in that doubleheader down at Harry and David Field earlier this season. Looking for my box scores from those games. There it is. O2 delivery coming up here for Melton. Stoffel misses low and outside for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes here against Jacob Melton. Stoffel out of the windup, will kick and fire in, and the pitch is inside in the dirt, evens it up at a 2-2 count. It wasn't Melton. I don't believe it was Melton that had the home run against Roseburg earlier in the season. In fact, I believe it was Jack Thompson that hit that home run against Roseburg earlier on in the year. Nope, Melton did have one in one of those. It was Thompson in one game, Melton in the other. Hard hit ball towards short, and it's off the heel of the glove for Cody Johnson. The usually sure-handed shortstop boots one here early on in the game. Hard hit ball right at him, though, and that'll be an error to lead things off. Melton will get on base, and this South Medford squad sure does like to. South Medford sure does like to take the base when they are on. They are aggressive on the base paths. We'll see how that works out. Melton, the speedy guy, plays center field. Not from running on the first pitch. The first pitch hit out towards right field, but it's foul for Clint Campbell, who stands in. Campbell hitting here with one on, nobody out. That foul ball down the right field side there. Campbell playing at third base. Right-handed batter. In fact, I believe Melton the only lefty in the lineup for South Medford. Roseburg without a left-handed batter in their starting lineup. I'm struggling to remember who it is, but there is a lefty on the team. I want to say it's Ethan Gartner, but we've only seen him bat a couple of times this year. As a pickoff throw to first base for Stoffel. Just checking on the runner over there as Melton easily back to the bag with the head first slide. Top of the first inning here. Scoreless ball game so far. One batter in for Jay Stoffel. On the mound, he'll pick off throw to first again, and back in sliding goes Melton. Roseburg comes in today wearing their white home uniforms. The white tops, the white trousers. Roseburg across the chest in orange. Numbers on the back in orange as well. The 0-1 pitch out, throw down to second base. They won't get it, and it goes off the end of the glove for Johnson. Cody unable to hold on to it. It goes into right field, but Caden Johnson will get to the baseball and holds Melton to just one bag as he steals second. 1-1 count at the plate with a man in scoring position now for South Medford. We'll take a look around the diamond defensively for the Indians here in just a moment in the top of the first. 1-1 count at the plate now for Campbell with a Melton in scoring position. It's a line drive shot to third. Throw to second for the double play. They'll get it. And the Indians will turn two. A line drive shot right to Zach Mandera at third. He picks it off. He had to wait for Caden Johnson to get to the bag at second. But Johnson able to get there in time, steps on the bag and doubles off Jacob Melton. Sharp line drive right at Zach Mandera. He had to reach just above his shoulder level to get to it, but he makes the stab out of the air for out number one and then doubles off the Panthers at second base. Two down quickly and looking for now a 1-2-3 inning. The first pitch in is fouled up and over the back of the backstop there by Jalen Owens, who will stand in with 2 outs and nobody on base. An 0-1 count for the three-hitter. Oh, 0-1 delivery, a breaking ball. Catches the outside corner, and it's quickly an 0-2 count for Owens. So that was some nice defensive work behind Jay Stoffel. We'll try and get you a look around the diamond defensively here if we get a moment. Ground ball back to the mound. The comebacker picked up by Stoffel. Throw to first to Jonathan Stone. And it's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for the Roseburg Indians defensively. We'll get you their defensive alignment, and they come back out onto the field in the second. But the top of the first is done. Roseburg in a 0-0 ball game with South Medford. We'll have the bottom of the first when we come back here on CBS Sports Radio 1490. The Score.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Come back here for the bottom of the first inning, Roseburg and South Medford. Scoreless ball game as we get ready to start the bottom of the first inning. We'll take a look around the diamond here defensively as we get the lineup for South Medford. On the mound, it's Ricky Bortz who will toe the rubber for the Panthers. Bortz pitched against Roseburg in the doubleheader down at Harry and David Field earlier this season through 6 innings. Gave up 5 hits and 3 runs to the Indians. 3 walks, 1 strikeout, but he ended up picking up the win in that 7-inning contest as South Medford won 6-3 against the Indians in Game 2 of that doubleheader earlier this season. Bortz will be on the mound. We'll look around the rest of the diamond, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. Belong to Douglas County here in just a moment. Leading things off, it'll be Garrett Russell. Russell stands in for Roseburg to lead off the game, and he'll take the first pitch for strike 1. Garrett comes in this season batting .288. Looking to break out of a little bit of a slump, and he'll hit one up the middle. Picked up behind second, no, off the glove for the shortstop, Zach Ankeny, and on base will go Garrett Russell. They keep giving me a hard time down here, the people that keep the scorebook, and they always say, well, what's Joey going to call it? Is it an error or was it a base hit? A base hit? That's what I was thinking, too. I'm glad to see we're all on the same page here. Base hit for Garrett Russell to lead things off, although Ankeny did get some leather on it. That one a hard one to get to, and we will all agree it's going to be a base hit for Garrett Russell to lead things off for Roseburg. So a base knock there, get a man on, and the Indians in business here early in the bottom of the first of this scoreless ball game. And the umpire is now going to check the mound here. Apparently they need Bortz might have some blood, or it's something on his wrist there apparently they needed to have taken off. Okay. So 1 on and nobody out here. Ricky Bortz on the mound. Around the rest of the diamond behind the plate, Jack Thompson catching for South Medford. Robbie Carl out at first. Jalen Owens at second. Zach Ankeny at short and Clint Campbell at third. In the outfield, we'll get you that here in a moment, as the first pitch to Caden Johnson is going to be a bunt back to the mound. The play made to first for Bortz. Into second base will go Russell, and the sack bunt will move a runner up into scoring position for the Indians. So 1 away, and Caden Johnson, who came in batting .347, lays down the sack bunt on the first pitch. And Garrett Russell will move in to scoring position. 1 down, 1 on, and up next, Jonathan Stone, who comes in with quite the resume as of right now. His junior season has gone well. He takes the first pitch for strike 1 from Bortz. Finish off looking at the defense here. It is Jalen Parnell in left, Jacob Melton in center, and Jaron Emerson in right field for South Medford today. And that is your look around the diamond, brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. Ball fouled away by Stone. We'll give him an 0-2 count here against Ricky Bortz. Jonathan Stone comes into the game with a 9-game hitting streak. Currently batting over .500, but he swings and misses for strike 3, and that has not been something he does very often this season. Stone comes in. During this hitting streak, he only had 1 strikeout, and I believe he had 3 on the season total. So that is a uncommon sight to see Jonathan Stone strike out, but there is out number 2, and the Indians now will look to have Brody Black drive in what would be the go-ahead run. Black takes the first pitch, a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Color me a little bit surprised there that Bortz gets Stone to strike out. He's been a good contact guy. The 1-0 goes to a 1-1 count as Brody Black swings through it. Evens up his count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bortz, after giving up the leadoff single to Garrett Russell, looking to get out of this first inning. He misses just outside to Brody, and it's a 2-1 count. Brody Black this season hitting .235, but he's second on the team with 4 doubles, has 11 RBI. He takes a strike on the outside corner to even up his count at 2-2. Bort's trying to get out of this one. Leave a man stranded in scoring position for the Indians. The 2-2 pitch. Reaching for it. The breaking ball will get Brody Black to go down swinging. The strikeout finishes things off here in the bottom of the first. For the Roseburg Indians, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. It's a scoreless ball game as we head to the top of the second inning here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490. The Score.
No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on board.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Starting off the top of the second inning now for South Medford.
Second inning here from Legion Field. Roseburg and South Medford in a scoreless ball game. Both pitchers battling back after getting the leadoff man on for both sides. Jay Stoffel on the mound will face Jack Thompson to lead things off. South Medford goes to their cleanup man. The first pitch pulled out towards left field, coming in and now drifting back a few steps, making it look a little interesting in left field. Doran Gillespie will get underneath it for out number 1, and the Indians will have 1 pitch for 1 out. Let's take a look around the diamond defensively for the Indians. Is coming up to hit will be Jalen Parnell. Behind the plate is Terrell Jacks today for the Indians. Out at first base, Jonathan Stone is the first pitch in the dirt for Parnell. Second baseman is Caden Johnson, Cody Johnson at short, and Zach Mandera at third. In left field, Doran Gillespie, Garrett Russell out in center, and in right field is Jet Black for the Roseburg Indians. And that is a look around the diamond brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. 1 away, 1-0 count at the plate for Jalen Parnell, the left fielder. Stoffel will deliver a breaking ball, stays high. It'll go to a 2-0 count. Roseburg with a hit in the first. South Medford getting a man on via an error, but neither team able to score here early in this game as a pitch low and outside from Stoffel goes to a 3-0 count against Parnell. Jalen Parnell, the left fielder, bats 5th in the lineup. Big, powerful guy, a football player as well. Dangerous hitter if he can get a hold of one. He'll take it low in the dirt for ball 4. And that'll be the first walk of the game issued by Jay Stoffel. Walks have not been something that he has issued too many of this season. His first of the game here, but this season, Stoffel had come in with just 11 walks. He was thrown 3 times as many strikeouts versus walks this season. 33 strikeouts, 11 walks, but now up to 12 with the 1 here. So 1 man on, 1 away. The Indians will look for the ground ball double play option here between Johnson and Johnson up the middle if they can get it. Maybe go around the horn, starting at third with Mandera. First pitch to Zach Ankeny, the shortstop, will take. And it's a 1-0 count as the first pitch misses outside for Jay Stoffel. Working out of the stretch now. Stoffel, a big kid, just a sophomore, as he throws over to first, and back in goes Parnell. Plays football, was a backup quarterback this year as a sophomore behind Colin Warmouth. Big kid, though, good size to him. I look forward to seeing what he's got over the next 2 years for the Indians. A pitch low, and it's a 2-0 count now for Zach Ankeny, and I got to imagine that head coach Ray Smith down at third is telling his guy, you wait until you see a strike here. That is 6 straight outside the strike zone for Jay Stoffel. He's going to try and get one across here. And he will. Slow strike call from behind the plate here today. So I'm kind of being a little bit cautious to call balls and strikes, a little bit preemptive, waiting for our umpire to give us the signal. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Ankeny, the shortstop. Throw over to first, and Parnell back in safely. Ankeny had a chance at a ball on the ground in the first inning. Garrett Russell hitting that one up the middle. Showed some great range to get to it, just couldn't get in front of it and get his glove underneath it. 2-1 pitch to him, and Ankeny takes strike 2 on that outside corner. That corner has been forgiving for pitchers so far. They've been getting the call on the outside edge. That's something hitters will have to pick up throughout the rest of the contest. 2-2 count, a throw over to first again. Parnell back in safely. The South Medford team definitely very aggressive on the base paths. Had plenty of stolen bases against Roseburg in the first go-round. 2-2 pitch, low, and we'll go to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes now against Zach Ankeny. Daniel Schenk, the DH, waits on deck. 1 man on, 1 away here in the top of the second. 0-0 score between the Indians and the Panthers. Runner going from first, and the ground ball hit through the gap on the right side. Parnell will hold up at second, picking up his third base coach. Sees the stop sign, and he only advances 90 feet. Zach Ankeny with the base knock on the hit and run.
Next batter,
that'll be your first base hit of the ball game for South Medford. Puts runners at first and second with 1 away. They had the runner going, and Caden Johnson heading towards the bag to try and cover. And Ankeny did a nice job, go opposite field and hit it right through the gap where Caden Johnson had been. Up to hit Daniel Schenk, the DH. First pitch in the dirt. And a nice job behind the plate there by Terrell Jacks to knock that one down. Jacks dropping to his knees to block that one and keeps it in front of him. The runners will all hold. First and second with 1 away. Cody Johnson out to the mound to have a quick word with Stoffel. A fist bump, and he'll head back out to short. Game tied at 0. South Medford trying to take the early advantage. 1 away. The Indians looking for that double play opportunity. The pitch to the plate. It's there for strike 1 against Schenk. Cody Johnson after the meeting on the mound. He's playing out there, holding on Parnell quite a bit. Playing back behind the runner, close to the bag. Parnell with a healthy lead though. Stoffel will check and fires in. It's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball for strike 2. Stoffel's a guy that can throw his pitches pretty well, mixes them up nicely, and has a few different options. Ground ball towards third will be foul, so it'll stay a 1-2 count. Stoffel trying to work out of this jam. Had a man in scoring position in the first as well that he worked out of. Foul ball at the plate. Still in the box. Schenk fouls that one off of him as he reached for it. With the 2 strikes against him trying to stay alive, and he just fouls that one off with a little tapper at the plate. And he'll stay with the 1-2 count. 1 away. Runners at first and second. Ankeny takes his lead at first. Stone not holding him on. Out at second base, Parnell takes the lead. Cody Johnson holding him on. He takes an extra half step to throw in. Softly hit out towards center field. Garrett Russell underneath it. He'll make the catch. Throws back in to hold the runners, and there's your second out. So the Indians get a much-needed second out. Relieves a little bit of the pressure against Stoffel, and he needs just one more as Jaron Emerson, the right fielder, will step up next. Emerson playing in right field. Another right-handed batter. Gets his first look of Jay Stoffel. Stoffel didn't pitch against South Medford when the Indians made the trip down there earlier. So his first pitch he sees from the sophomore is in for strike 1 right down the middle. Stoffel started out a little bit shaky. Got the first pitch in the line drive to left field for an out, but then he walked a batter and got well behind against Zach Ankeny as well. But he is attacking the zone here as he gets another called strike to make it an 0-2 count against Jaron Emerson. Looking to work his way out and leave two men stranded on base in this battle between the Indians and the Panthers. The 0-2 delivery. Strike three, got him looking. And that'll wrap things up. South Medford leaves two men on base, and the Indians will keep it a scoreless ball game. That is another good vibration strikeout for Jay Stoffel this season. Good vibrations. You can feel it at Good Vibes. We head to the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 ball game here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took two home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Zero-zero ball game as we start the bottom of the second. And Zach Mandero will stand in for the Roseburg Indians as we welcome you back here to Legion Field. Roseburg and South Medford squaring off. Ricky Bortz on the mound. His first pitch was in the dirt for a 1-0 count. Pitch low again, 2-0 count now for Zach Mandera. Nice day here at the ball field, although a little bit chilly, especially if you're sitting back in the shade. The sunshine's got to probably feel pretty nice as a pitch catches the outside corner for Zach. Mandera with a 2-1 count now. Checked it earlier. We were in the low 60s for our game time temperature. Expected to dip into the upper 50s as another breaking ball, this time on the inside corner, called for a strike against Zach. Looking like we're still sitting right around 61, 60 degrees here at game time. Zach gets around on one, pulls that well foul into the bullpen for the Indians. Keeps his at-bat alive with a 2-2 count. So 61 degrees, a few puffy clouds overhead, but a lot of blue sky as well. 2-2 pitch. Mandera gets underneath this one out towards left field, coming in, tracking it down, and it goes off the glove for Parnell in left field, and that'll be an error, and into second base will go Zach Mandera, camped underneath it. Parnell looked like he was having a hard time tracking it down at first, but he was underneath it. That one hung up long enough, and it looked like he had plenty of time to try and make that catch, but it'll be an E7 as Zach Mandera will get on with the error in left field. And he takes second. So man in scoring position for the Indians again with nobody out here. Squaring to bunt, Cody Johnson will put it down. Picked up, the throw to third. Got him at third base. Mandera tagged out off the mound. Ricky Bortz falling down as he made the throw to third, and he gets a strike to the bag, and applying the tag, Clint Campbell will get the first out there. 1-5 the put out for out number one. Cody Johnson tried to lay down the sack bunt, but he gets on with the fielder's choice. And that didn't work out for the Indians there, trying to get a man up to third and get a chance to have a run 90 feet from home. So one away, man on at first now. The Indians make the trade, and it did not work out the way they were hoping for there. Batting will be Doran Gillespie, in the first pitch inside for ball one. One-0 count against Gillespie with one away and Cody Johnson on at first. Strike called on the outside corner, evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, happy to say we've got some visitors in the booth today with us from Sunrise. We've got Jason and Tommy joining us in the booth here today. Happy to show them the behind-the-scenes ropes of radio broadcasting. Ground ball hit towards third, and Gillespie will get it by. It gets into left field. Up to second base will go Johnson. Cody in standing. Gillespie picks up a base hit. Good to see Doran getting his bat going a little bit here. He's been in a bit of a funk, but he picks up a nice hit and gets runners at first and second with one away for the Indians.
Next batter will be the catcher, number 10, Terrell Jacks.
That one right down the line past Clint Campbell, diving for it at third. Couldn't get the leather on it. And into left field for Jalen Parnell. First and second for the Indians, one away, and Terrell Jacks will hit. Terrell, you want to talk about a slump. It's been a tough stretch for him. 0 for 9 in his last 4 games. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. But happy to have and spread the wealth of knowledge that is radio broadcasting. It's fun to have visitors in the booth and show them around, so we welcome Jason and Tommy from Sunrise. That's a pitch that looked a little below the strike zone, but called for strike 1. Evens it up, a 1-1 count now for Terrell. Ricky Bortz out of the stretch will fire in. Breaking ball did not drop much. It stays high, and it's a 2-1 count. The 2-1 delivery coming up. Ricky Bortz fires, and it's high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Terrell this season, he's fallen below that Mendoza line, 188 batting. But he does have 9 RBI, and he's got an opportunity here with Cody Johnson out at second. The 3-1, he hits it towards third. It's picked up by Campbell. Throw to second for 1. The throw to first in the dirt, and it's off the glove for the first baseman, Robbie Carl, and the Indians will keep the inning going as Terrell Jacks reaches on the throwing error there by the second baseman, Jalen Owens. E4. Gillespie out at second base for out number 2. And the Indians will have runners on the corners with 2 down. They've had to work to get him there, but they've got a man 90 feet from home. First pitch for Jet Black is fouled back to the screen. It might have been more of a fielder's choice, I think, to get Terrell on, not a throwing error there. Put it down like that. Ground ball right side, and it's going to get through for Jet. He'll drive in the go-ahead run as Roseburg takes a 1-0 lead. Back to the bag at second. The courtesy runner for the catcher, Terrell Jacks, will get in safely. Roseburg leads 1-0. I believe that's Mason Littlefield out there running.
The Indians now, number 1, Garrett Russell.
So Jet Black gets a ground ball to sneak through on the right side of the infield for an RBI single. Scoring is Cody Johnson, and the Indians are on top 1-0. A comebacker, hard hit by Russell, back to the mound. It's fielded by Bortz, and he'll make the play to first for the final out. But the Indians get 1, and they take the early lead. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 South Medford error and 2 men left on base. Come back with the 3rd inning after this here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Well, Jay Stoffel now has a 1-0 lead to work with as the Indians take the advantage there in the bottom of the second.
South Medford. It'll be number 10, Robbie Carl.
Up to bat for the Panthers here to start out the third inning will be the 9-hitter Robbie Carl. Out of the windup for Stoffel, he'll throw in, and the first pitch to the 9-hitter is low for ball 1. So the ground ball single through the right side for Jet Black brings in the game's first run as the Indians take their first lead this season against South Medford. Strike called against the 9-hitter Robbie Carl. Evens up his count at 1-1. Puts the ball in the air, right field. Going back is Jet Black. This one's over his head, lands just in the corner out in right field. Carl's headed for second, and he's in standing up. It's a leadoff double for Robbie Carl, landing that one just inside the chalk down that right field line. He gets a double and will find himself in scoring position with nobody out, and it'll bring up the top of the lineup. Very dangerous portion of the lineup for this South Medford squad as they look to try and tie this one up.
Number 9, Jacob Milton.
Jacob Melton will stand in, a very dangerous hitter. Found himself on base with an error in the first inning. He hits here in the third with one on and nobody out. The left-handed hitter stands in. Melton will take in the dirt for ball 1. That one just barely fitting inside the chalk line down there, landing on the Red Rock warning track. So you could easily see it landing inside the white chalk line out there. The 1-0 pitch to Melton and a swing and a miss. Big cut from the leadoff man. And he'll have a 1-1 count. Melton obviously a very good hitter. Probably the leading candidate this season for Player of the Year in the Southwest Conference. Probably could have been the award winner of that award last year. The senior will take outside for a 2-1 count. 2 balls, 1 strike against Melton. Last time up, he hit it to shortstop, and Cody Johnson just couldn't field it cleanly. 2-1 delivery. Off speed, got him to swing and miss again, and he went after another one and just could not connect. Good movement on the pitch there for Stoffel. And he is now closing in on a possible punch-out pitch to get the first out here in the third inning. Stoffel checks second, kicks and fires in. The fastball got him swinging, and a big strikeout for Jay Stoffel. Not going to be something you see too often of Jacob Melton swinging and striking out. And a nice job there for a good vibration strikeout for Jay Stoffel. That's his second of the game. And after the punch out to the mound, pitching coach Richie Charles out to have a quick conversation with Jay Stoffel, and he sprinted out there and will jog back to the dugout. Not sure if, after a positive moment like that, if he wants to make sure that he keeps his guys focused on the task at hand. Don't want to get over excited about a strikeout of a big-time player on the other side. Still got work to do here with a man in scoring position and just one away. First pitch to the two-hitter. It's a chopper, high chop towards short, picked up by Johnson, and he can't field it cleanly. Runner's going to head to home. The throw to the plate, not going to be there, and a run will come in to tie the game. Cody Johnson charging that one from Clint Campbell. Looked like he was going to have the play to first for the second out, and as he wound up to throw, he lost a handle on the baseball, and on safely will be Campbell, and then the ball got away from him, and Robbie Carl wisely heads up. He takes home and scores the game-tying run. A man on at first, just one out still here in this third inning, and it's a tie ball game, 1-1. The pitch in the dirt now for Jalen Owens, and that'll be a 1-0 count. A 1-0 pitch and a throw over to first base instead. So Carl will take home on the error by Cody Johnson. Campbell on with the E6 as well. Second error of the game, unfortunately, for Cody there. That pitch in on the hands and going around at it. Owens fouls it off for strike one. Shocked if he didn't hit his fingers on that one. That one well down the bat on the handle. 1-1 ball game now after the run comes in here in the third inning. Throw over to first base and back in goes Campbell. One away. And it looks like Jalen Owens has got something on his wrist he's going to have to take off. And I believe it's, I thought I was going to say it was the tape on his wrist there, but must have had a bracelet on that left hand that he's given to head coach Ray Smith. One ball, one strike is back into the box. Owens will get ready to go here. One man on with one away here in the top of the third inning. Jay Stoffel delivers. The fastball is fouled off for strike two. Stoffel's done a great job here, but his defense has not helped him out as much as we would have liked to have seen so far. And that has led to our tie ball game at 1-1. Roseburg with 2 errors in the contest, 2 errors on the other side for South Medford. Actually, 1 error for South Medford on the other side. 1-2 pitch from Stoffel. It's lined out towards left center. Gillespie on a run. He won't get to it. Gets it on the one hop. He'll throw in the cutoff. Not going to get the third in time. A nice job by Zach Mandera to scoop the ball out of the dirt. And you've got runners at second and third after the one-out double by Jalen Owens. 2 doubles here in the third inning for South Medford.
Next batter, number 6, Jack Thompson.
And now Jack Thompson will stand in, a dangerous hitter as well. Had a home run in the first game of this 3-game series between Roseburg and South Medford. Both these teams coming off of long layoffs, 10 days off for South Medford, so they've been raring to go and get back out on the field. First pitch, ground ball hit sharply towards short, backhanded by Johnson. The throw to first, he gets it there, but a run will score. An RBI ground out for Jack Thompson. And it's a 2-1 lead now. South Medford in front. Up to third base goes Jalen Owens. Scoring was Clint Campbell. And the Panthers will take the advantage here in the third inning. 2 down. Jalen Parnell steps in. First pitch swinging. He fouls it back for strike one. A 0-1 delivery coming up for Parnell. Sun shining in. And a balk called against Stoffel. He must have broke his hands before he came set. Before stepping off after coming set. And the balk will bring in another run, and South Medford, after giving up the lead to Roseburg in the bottom of the second, they've struck back to score 3 times here in the third. The 0-1 is taken for strike two against Jalen Parnell, who is batting with nobody on base now and 2 away. Ground ball hit towards third. It'll get into left field. And the 2-out hit will keep the inning alive. Jay Stoffel, tough luck inning here for him. He has done a lot right.
Next batter, number 14, Zach Ankeny.
So 1 on, 2 away. Zach Ankeny up for a second time in as many innings. Will get a chance to hit here with 2 outs. 3-1 is our score. And now a visit down to third base for the umpire. Talks with Coach Ray Smith here. I'm not sure what this conversation might be in regards to. Well, the Indians got the lead there in the bottom of the second, and South Medford has come on strong here in the third to make them pay for it. I'm not sure what that conversation was all about there. Standing in, Ankeny, and got on with a single in the second. Hits here with 2 outs and a man on at first, and the first pitch fouled back for strike 1. Jay Stoffel has done a nice job. He's been throwing strikes and getting ahead of hitters, but the Indians have left outs on the field. 0-1 pitch. Pitch out, runner going, throw down to second. It goes off the end of the glove again for Johnson and into right field, but staying at second base will be Parnell. Another stolen base for the Panthers. The pitch out makes it a 1-1 count. Up to second base goes Jalen Parnell. This is an inning that the Indians are very much looking to get out of here. Stoffel with now a force out just at first, a man on at second. Comes set, will throw into Ankeny. Catches the bottom of the strike zone for a 1-2 count. The 1-2 delivery hit sharply at Johnson. It'll get into left field. Gillespie will back it up, but a run's going to score from second. And it's now 4-1. South Medford in front as the Panthers continue to put it on here in the third. Scoring from second is Jalen Parnell. Ankeny on with his second hit of the ball game. One hopper just got by Cody Johnson at short. Short hop past him. Just didn't really have much of a chance to get in front of that one with the runner in front of him as well, kind of blocking his way. Run comes in. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1 now to Daniel Shank. The 1-0 delivery low again, and it's now a 2-0 count. 8th hitter to the plate here in this, what has been a frustrating third inning for the Roseburg Indians. Roseburg softball is on the road down in Medford today, taking on South Medford. The Roseburg softball team is 1 win away from clinching their spot in the postseason, earning a guaranteed top 4 finish in the Southwest Conference with a win today against South Medford if they can get it. And then they'd just be playing for seeding and seeing if they can get their OSAA power ranking high enough to be able to host a first-round playoff game. The 2-0 pitch here from Stoffel. It's pulled towards third, but foul. And takes it to a 2-1 count for Daniel Shank, who flew out to center field back in the second. Jaron Emerson waits on deck. He would be the 9th hitter to the plate here in the third for South Medford. The 2-1 is outside. And Stoffel falls behind 3-1. Well, Roseburg really built some positive momentum in the bottom of the second there to take a lead, but giving it all back here is a ball high in the air behind home. Chasing it, Terrell Jacks up against the screen. And that one will end up in the netting before Terrell has a chance to try and get to it. Jonathan Stone there as well, but neither a chance to try and get to that baseball. It'll be strike 2 against Daniel Shank. And Stoffel looking for the payoff pitch. Nobody thrown in the bullpen for Roseburg. Unless this one really starts to get way out of hand, I imagine they'll stick with Stoffel for the time being and then maybe use some of their guys that do not pitch too often in this one if it starts to get out of hand. Runner going, ball fouled away again. It stays a full count. Full count with 2 outs. Of course, the runner Zach Ankeny out at first. Will be taking off. It'll either be strike 3 or ball 4 or a ball in play. So you just head off and get going. Get the early jump. 3-2 pitch. And it's ball 4. So with 2 away, ball 4, Shank will get on. First and second now for South Medford, and the ninth hitter to the plate will be Jaron Emerson. Sun poking through the clouds once again. Ground ball up the middle to Cody Johnson. He'll go the long way to first and gets the out by a step against Emerson, and that'll wrap things up here in the third inning. But 9 hitters go to the plate. 4 runs come in, and South Medford takes the big advantage. 4-1 is our score as we head to the bottom of the third inning. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
If there's a runner on base, they advance 90 feet. They get to go to the next base. So since he was on third, he got to come over.
Bottom of the third inning for Roseburg will be number 4, Caden Johnson.
We come back here in the bottom of the third inning. Roseburg baseball here on the score. Caden Johnson will lead things off for the Indians, who trail 4-1. First pitch swinging. He hits it to the sun field out in right. Battling the sunshine out there, Jaron Emerson will make the catch as Caden Johnson will fly out to right field for out number 1 as we start this bottom of the third inning. Roseburg giving up the lead in the top of the third, giving up 4 runs to South Medford. A long inning there, half inning defensively. Out of the windup, Ricky Boritz still throwing for South Medford. Fires in a breaking ball that'll miss outside for ball 1 here against Jonathan Stone, who Stone struck out in the first inning. He was the first of back-to-back strikeouts to end that inning as he takes low for a 2-0 count. He's got a 9-game hitting streak on the line coming into this matchup, so he's looking to find a way to get a base knock here. The 2-0 delivery to him. Line drive shot will continue the hit streak. He gets it into left field, and now a 10-game hit streak for Jonathan Stone, and he's 1 for 2 on the day as he puts that ball into left field. Hard hit line drive there. So the Indians, they just got to try and chip away at this 3-run deficit here, and getting a man on will help that out. Brody Black will stand in. He struck out swinging in the first, 0 for 1 today. 1 on, 1 away for the Indians. We'll take a look around the Southwest Conference here in a little bit with some of the other games, get you some score updates. As the first pitch, a breaking ball in for strike 1 against Brody. Of course, our look at the local scoreboard update brought to you by Garrettson Building Supply, offering a wide range of high-quality lumber, plywood, and building-related materials. That's Garrettson Building Supply, supporting our Douglas County community for over 90 years. Brody gets underneath one, out to center field. Jacob Melton will get underneath it for out number 2. And Zach Mandera will try to keep things moving for the Indians here with 2 down and 1 man on. Mandera Hit one to left field his first time up that bounced off the glove of Jalen Parnell for an error. First pitch swinging, line drive shot. It gets by the third baseman. Campbell couldn't get his glove in front of it. Stone is going to head for third. The relay throw is high. It goes off of the glove of the catcher. Nobody's going to the baseball. There we go. Surprise there. On the mound, Ricky Bortz was backing up the throw back in, which was too high to try and get Stone and going all the way to third. And Bortz had it bounce off his glove. He thought nobody was catching home or covering home. And so he almost left the baseball to head to the plate, but he went and got it pretty quick. So runners at second and third for the Indians after the single by Mandera. He took second on the throw in. And up to third base went Jonathan Stone. So the Indians with 2 in scoring position for Cody Johnson here, trying to help Roseburg out as he'll foul tip, and he'll have a 1-1 count. One the count here for Cody Johnson. Trying to help his team out. He's had a tough day out in the field defensively. He's got an opportunity to try and bring in a run here with a base knock. Cody reached on a fielder's choice back in the second and came around to score the first run of the game for the Indians. Takes a breaking ball low and inside for a 2-1 count. Johnson this season has been hitting pretty well. Cody, .354 hitter as he swings for strike 2. .354 hitter. He's got 14 RBI. Tied for the team lead with his brother, Caden Johnson. Looking for an RBI here, the 2-2. He'll take low and outside to go to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody's on at first, so the runners won't necessarily be going on the pitch, but they'll definitely be going on contact. 3-2 pitch here for Johnson. Bortz delivers. Breaking ball is outside for ball 4, and it'll load the bases. Big opportunity here for Doran Gillespie to try and see if Doran can bring in a run. Doran got on with a base hit down the third base side his first time up. Out of the windup here for Bortz with the bases loaded and 2 away. The first pitch is high for ball 1. Big moment in the game here for Roseburg. They need that big 2-out hit to try and drive in at least 1. A 1-0 pitch for Gillespie. Gets underneath it and fouls it away for strike 1. Doran, after reaching with a single in the second, was cut down at second base on a ground ball in the infield by Terrell Jacks. 1-1 pitch to him. It's in the dirt, and it'll go to a 2-1 count. Bortz, no room to put a runner here, so at 2-1, he's likely going to be trying to attack the strike zone yet again. See if Gillespie, who has started the season hitting really well, but has dropped down in the lineup here as his average has come down to 239. The 2-1. He'll take for strike 2. As expected, Ricky Bortz didn't want to fall behind 3-1. He attacks the bottom end of the strike zone. Gillespie will stand back in. 2-2 pitch coming up with the bases loaded and 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. The pitch, breaking ball. It's slowly hit right side. First baseman Carl has it. He'll flip to the bag, and it's in time to get Doran Gillespie. The pitcher, Bortz, covering. And he makes the final out. And the Indians will leave the bases loaded. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors by South Medford and 3 men left on base. 4-1 our score after 3 innings. We head to the top of the 4th here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Through 3 innings, our score 4-1 in favor of South Medford. 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Panthers. For Roseburg, 1 run on 5 hits, 2 errors for the Indians. 4th inning action here, brought to you by Clinton Newell Auto Groups. First pitch for Jay Stoffel. He fires in to Robbie Carl, who will pop fly into right field. It's caught by Jet Black. Robbie Carl led off the 3rd inning with a fly ball to right field, but it was deep right field, and he was able to fall in for a double. This time he pops out to Jet Black for out number 1. A much better start to the 4th inning for Jay Stoffel on the mound for his 4th inning of work. Gets the first out. So 1 away, top of the lineup, Jacob Melton will stand in. First pitch, a breaking ball in the dirt for a 1-0 count. 2 punch-outs in the game for Jay Stoffel so far, and one of them was a big one to Jacob Melton in the 3rd. Granted, the Panthers still were able to do some damage. Melton hits it hard towards second, and it gets by. Caden Johnson can't get to it, and it won't be an 0 for day for Jacob Melton. He reaches with his first base hit. Now 1 for 3 in this ball game with the sharply hit ground ball through the right side of the infield. The left-handed batter pulling the ball past second. So 1 on with 1 out for South Medford. Up next will be Clint Campbell. Campbell reaching on an error as they throw over to check on Melton from Stoffel. Reached on the error. It was a slow roller through the infield for Cody Johnson, and he lost a handle on the baseball trying to throw to first. Throw in for a strike, throw down to second, not in time. And a stolen base there for Jacob Melton. He is pretty quick to do that against most pitchers. Takes off for second. I believe it's an 0-1 count. Yeah, that is right. 0-1 count at the plate here for Clint Campbell. And the pitch in the dirt will even it up at a 1-1 count. One ball, 1 strike now against Campbell, who is 0 for 2 in the ball game. A line out to third and a reach on an error. Man in scoring position here for the Panthers with 1 down, and the pitch high for Stoffel. 2-1 count. Saw Cody Johnson stretching his arm out a little bit in between innings. Could be the guy they go to if they look to make a pitching change throughout this ball game. 2-1 pitch here from Stoffel. Inside, just past the hitter. Almost got Campbell, but he leans out of the way. He's got a 3-1 count. Stoffel trying to keep South Medford off the base paths. The 3-1 pitch catches the edge for strike 2. Full count now against the number 2 hitter. Stoffel working out of the stretch with Jacob Melton out at second base. Will deliver to the plate, and he gets a ground ball towards first base, and it gets through on that right side. Jet Black will come up with it. He throws to the plate. Not going to be in time as Melton will score. It's an RBI single for Clint Campbell. He picks up his first hit of the game. And it's now 5-1, South Medford in front of Roseburg. Jet got to that one quickly and fired back in. Thought he might have an opportunity to try and get Melton, but he is just so fast And the throw just a little short. One hops into Terrell Jacks, and he didn't have much of a chance to try and make the tag. So Melton scores, and it's 5-1 in favor of South Medford. Jay Stoffel started out real nice through the first 2 innings, but got touched up in the third, and now here more in the fourth as another ground ball will just slowly get through the infield. This time between short and third, Jalen Owens will get on. 3 straight singles for South Medford, and they've got runners at first and second with just 1 away. Zach Mandera went chasing after that one. It was just too far out in front of him. Diving for it, Cody Johnson couldn't quite get to it. Too far in front of him. It was just the perfect spot there for Jalen Owens. Gets on with his second hit, 2 for 3 today for him. Jack Thompson stands in, and the first pitch called for strike 1. Thompson today 0 for 2 in the ballgame, but has a ground out for an RBI back in the third. 0-1 delivery. That ball lifted high in the air. Foul territory, third base side. Mandera chasing it, and he's underneath it. Camps there for the out. 0 for 3 today for Jack Thompson. Flies out in foul territory for out number 2.
Next batter, Jalen.
2 down, 2 on still. And Jalen Parnell will come up to hit. 1 for 1 in the game for Parnell. Had a single in the third, came around to score. First pitch, a breaking ball. He'll take low for ball 1. Stoffel out of the stretch, checks second. That's where Jacob Melton is. This ball to center field. Russell coming in. He'll make the catch for the final out. Excuse me, that wasn't Melton out there. That was Clint Campbell at second. Mistakenly said that, just to correct myself before we head to the break. As Jalen Parnell flies out to center field for the final out. 1 run comes in on 3 hits here in the 4th inning. No Roseburg errors, 2 men left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Roseburg trails 5-1 here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Today's game brought to you by our friends at Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. New location for them, just about 30 feet from their old location. In fact, it's the old radio station building there on Harvard. 1445 West Harvard Avenue, the new location for Flyaway Travel. They can give you a new location by booking your vacation trip today. Bottom of the 4th, Roseburg trails 5-1 against South Medford. Last 2 innings for South. Well, it's been pretty good. The Indians need to get the bats going here against Ricky Bortz. They've got 5 hits in the ball game, but they've only been able to bring in 1 run so far. 4th inning will start with Terrell Jacks, jet black, and then back to the top of the lineup for Garrett Russell. The first pitch to Terrell, swing and a miss on the breaking ball from Bortz. 0-1 pitch coming up. Terrell reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 delivery is high and inside for ball 1. Bortz has given up 2 hits in each of the last 2 innings. Gave up that run in the second on the RBI single by Jet Black as the ball fouled off. 1-2 count now against Terrell. One ball, 2 strikes now for Terrell. Bortz out of the windup, will kick and fire in. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 down. For Ricky Bortz, that is strikeout number 3 on the day. Strikeouts brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Wind up and fire to Jet Black here. First pitch swinging, he fouls it back for strike 1. Well, around the Southwest Conference today, a couple other games going on. Willamette at North Medford, South Eugene at Sheldon. The 0-1 delivery here from Bortz is in the dirt for a 1-1 count. Oh, they called it for strike 2. Wow, surprised by that one. It sounds like I'm not alone there. The 0-2, Jet will foul it away. And it gets out of play. Okay then. Checking on the Southwest Conference scoreboard. After going to the bottom of the third, it was 4-0 North Medford in front of Willamette in that contest. 0-2 pitch for Black. Misses for ball 1. In that one, North Medford and Willamette doesn't really affect Roseburg so much. Looks like North Medford may be headed to a victory, but Sheldon and South Eugene's a big one. Pitch misses outside, evens it up at a 2-2 count here for Jet Black. Kind of think that you'd like to see South Eugene lose, but Sheldon's right there with Roseburg as well, so those are the 2 teams Roseburg's trying to beat out for playoff positioning. Pitch hit high in the air on the infield. Calling for it is the first baseman's going to end up getting it. Nobody was really calling for it. Robbie Carl eventually realized nobody was calling for it and took the charge and got to it for out number 2. But I wasn't sure if Ricky Bortz was going to take it. The catcher wasn't sure who was going to take it, and Carl wasn't calling for it either. And finally, Robbie Carl gets underneath it for out number 2. So 2 down, nobody on base. Top of the lineup, Garrett Russell standing in. Garrett 1 for 2 today. First pitch, check swing, called strike. Roseburg trailing 5-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Russell fouls it back for strike 2. Roseburg avoiding the shutout from South Medford, the only team to shut them out this season, scoring the 1 run, but Roseburg needs a few more here as another foul ball for Garrett, and he'll stay with the 0-2 count. South Medford's already won the series with the 2 wins in the doubleheader earlier on, but the Indians trying to get at least 1 out of the 3 games. Pitch high, 1-2 count now for Russell. So far, Roseburg has won the series against Grants Pass and Willamette. South Eugene took 2 games against them. They lost that series, and South Medford has won the series against Roseburg as well. Comebacker to the mound. Garrett will ground out for the final out. A 1-2-3 inning for Ricky Bortz. And the Indians continue to trail 5-1 as we head to the 5th inning. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
First pitch swinging here as we start the top of the fifth. A throw to first from shortstop Cody Johnson. We'll get Zach Ankeny, who leads things off. He had been 2 for 2 to start this game, but he grounds out there for out number 1 as we start the bottom of the fifth inning. Joey Kieran here with you from Legion Field. Our score 5-1 in favor of South Medford. It'll be the 7-hitter, Daniel Shank, that stands in now. 0 for 1 in this game. Walked his last time up against Jay Stoffel, who still pitches for the Indians. Check swing on a breaking ball in the dirt. Gives him a 1-0 count. Roseburg Baseball today also brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg. South Medford with somebody warming up in their bullpen. As Shank's going to put a charge into this one out towards right field, fighting the sun out there. Jet Black makes the catch look easy. Out in right field, 2 down.
Next batter, number 12, Jaron Emerson.
And if the Indians can keep Jay Stoffel going, that'll be a nice for them to set up for the weekend doubleheader coming up against Sheldon for the Indians here at home. Like to try and keep their other guys ready to go. As a pitch fouled away by Jaron Emerson. Gives him the 0-1 count. Try and see if we can figure out who's throwing down there for South. It may be Jacob Melton. Nope. Yes, that is Melton, the lefty. Breaking ball in for strike 2 against Emerson. Gives him an 0-2 count, so Jacob Melton might get a chance to throw here today. Ground ball up the middle. In front of it, the second baseman, Caden Johnson, gets it there in time as he'll get Emerson for out number 3. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Jay Stoffel. The Indians needed that. They need some runs now. As they trail 5-1, we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Starting out the bottom of the 5th inning now for the Indians, it'll be number
Headed
4,
to the bottom of the 5th inning, Roseburg Indians trailing against South Medford. 5-1 our score at the moment. The Indians took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd, but South Medford rallied back with 4 in the top of the 3rd to take the lead, added another in the 4th, and that's their 5-1 lead at the moment. Caden Johnson leads things off. Made the final out defensively in the top half of the 5th. Stands in here to lead things off, and he takes the first pitch for ball 1 from Ricky Bort, still on the mound. Johnson gets underneath this one out to right field, going back now, locating the baseball, and underneath it, out number 1, Emerson in right field. That is a tough place to be right now. The sun really difficult to find those baseballs, but
15,
he makes it look easy for out number 1. Indians with 5 hits in the ball game. back in the fourth inning were held hitless. A 1-2-3 inning for Bortz. And that was the first inning without a hit for the Indians in the ballgame. Jonathan Stone stands in, 1 for 2 for him today. First pitch swinging, he'll foul it back for strike one. Stone got a line drive single into left field his last time up. Had to stretch his hit streak to 10 games. He's now hit safely in 16 of 18 games this year for the Indians. The 0-1, he'll swing at a breaking ball low and misses for strike two. He's had 4 multi-hit games during his 10-game hit streak. He's looking to try and get a second one here. The 0-2 pitch from Bortz. That's a line drive to center field. Melton coming in. The dive, he'll make the play. Hard hit ball. But Melton so speedy in center and a very good defender, able to get the line drive for out number 2. He almost got there too fast and got kind of stuck in an in-between dive for it, but the head first slide, he gets there for out number 2. And the Indians will now look to Brody Black to try and get a runner on with 2 down. First pitch is outside. A breaking ball misses for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch outside for a 2-0 count. Shadows starting to creep out across the infield here at Legion. The 2-0 pitch. Brody gets underneath this one, high out towards left field. Going back is Parnell, but in front of the warning track, he'll make the catch for the final out. That got everybody a little bit excited here at Legion. Unfortunately, it's a long out for Brody Black. And that'll wrap things up. The Indians trail 5-1 as we head to the 6th. South Medford closing in on a season sweep against the Indians when we return here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Top of the 6th inning. Jay Stoffel still on the mound for the Indians into his 6th inning of work. He's right now in line to pick up his first loss of the season. It's been a great year for Jay Stoffel on the mound. Tough one here, though, today against the team leading the way in the Southwest Conference. First pitch misses on a breaking ball, low and outside against leadoff man Robbie Carl, who will lead off an inning for a 3rd time in this ball game. He takes another one for ball 2. 2-0 count now. Line drive shot towards left field on the run. Gillespie will make a belt-high catch in left field. A good one there to get underneath that baseball. Made an awkward catch out there in left field, but he does get underneath it for the out. Charging in, that one handcuffed him a bit. Right about waist high. Always an awkward angle there, but he gets underneath it for the out. 1 away. And up next will be the top of the order, Jacob Melton here. The lefty stands in. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Out of the windup for Stoffel. He delivers the 1-0 count. Catches the outside corner to even up at 1-1. One pitch. Strike two called against Melton here, who's got a 1-2 count. Melton 1 for 3 in this game, already has one strikeout. Jay Stoffel looking to try and make it 2. Out of the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Outside, goes to a 2-2 count. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and a second strikeout of the game for Jacob Melton. Jay Stoffel, he may have had some issues from time to time, but getting 2 strikeouts against Jacob Melton is huge, and that's another good vibration strikeout for Roseburg's pitcher, Jay Stoffel. 2 down, nobody on base. The first pitch now for Clint Campbell outside in the dirt for ball 1. That is impressive. Melton, one of the best hitters in the conference and in the state. And a pair of strikeouts for Jay Stoffel against him. A high pitch for a 2-0 count. Melton was an all-state player last year. As a 2-0 pitch is going to ride too far inside, and it catches the front arm for Clint Campbell, and he'll head on down to first. Hit by pitch. First one of those in the ball game today. So man on with 2 away.
Next batter, number 3, Jalen Owens.
Jacob Melton, first team All-Southwest Conference, first team All-State last year as a junior. Tells you everything you need to know. He is a very talented player, but he is 1 for 4 today against Jay Stoffel. Really nice pitching performance against him for Stoffel. He pitches inside, almost gets Jalen Owens. It goes off the glove for Terrell Jackson. Up to second base goes Clint Campbell. Wild pitch will move the runner up. So man at second base, a 1-0 count for the 3-hitter Jalen Owens. 2 outs here in this 6th inning, and a pitch low and inside for a 2-0 count now. Stoffel able to get to the 2-out mark here, but he's struggling to get the 3rd out. And the Indians are going to choose to intentionally walk Jalen Owens, so he will get the free pass down to first. So they put Owens on at first. And that'll bring up Jack Thompson, who's 0 for 3 in the game, but does have an RBI on a ground out to shortstop. 2 out, 2 on. Indians looking to put a force out at any bag on the infield here by intentionally walking Owens, but it does put a lot of speed on the bases. Thompson stands in, the first pitch, strike 1 called. Roseburg with 6 outs still left to work with, trailing by 4 against South Medford. We'll have to get some offense going late in this one. 0-1 pitch from Stoffel, breaking ball, and it misses low for a 1-1 count. South Medford, a busy week for them. 5 games this week over the next 5 days. 1 today here against Roseburg, 2 tomorrow against Sheldon, and then South Eugene on Saturday doubleheader. Busy week with some very important games for the Panthers. Strike called on the outside corner on a fastball. Will make it a 1-2 count. And Thompson trying to make some 2-out magic and drive in a run. It's down to his final strike. Stoffel's 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Apply the tag, and there is your final out. A strikeout for Jay Stoffel. He gets out of the 6th inning, and the Roseburg Indians will keep it a 5-1 ball game. They'll head to the bottom of the 6th. South Medford in front by 4. You're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
This county is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Well, as we get ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning, we've got a Shelby and Migulena call to the pen. That's Shelby and Migulena Construction, your local leaders for any project, big or small. 30 years of quality, affordable work. Call Shelby and Migulena or visit their website, webuildhouses.com. Ricky Bortz is done on the mound. He pitches 5 innings for South Medford. Gave up 5 hits, 1 run. Over those 5 innings, he allowed just 1 walk to the Indians and struck out 3. And he will be in line for the victory if the score remains the same as it is right now, 5-1 as we start the bottom of the 6th. Brandon Latender will stand in to take over on the mound for South Medford. He'll face Zach Mandera, Cody Johnson, and Doran Gillespie here in the bottom of the 6th. Roseburg trailing up 5-1. Brandon Latender pitched a 5-inning victory against Roseburg the first time out. Did not give up a run, only gave up 4 hits. So the Indians had a tough time against him the first time he was on the mound against them back in that doubleheader in April. First pitch to Mandera was low for ball 1. A pitch across for a strike, leaving it up at a 1-1 count. Latender working quickly here. Not wasting a lot of time in between pitches. Winds and fires. Mandera reaches for it and fouls it away for strike 2. Sunshiny day here at the ballpark. In fact, as I say that, I look out there at first base. Robbie Carl getting some sunglasses from the dugout out at first base. The 1-2 pitch. Mandera pulls it towards short. In front of it is Ankeny, the shortstop. Across the diamond in time for out number 1. Cody Johnson will hit next. Johnson 0 for 1 in the game, reached on a fielder's choice in the second and scored Roseburg's only run of the game. He walked his last time up. Stands in here with nobody on and 1 away. First pitch, just a bit too far outside for a 1-0 count. Well, coming up, we'll have your Roseburg Disposal post-game show, so stay tuned for that. Get caught up in this one. There's a pitch across for a strike against Cody. During the post-game show, we will name our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game for your Roseburg Indians. 1-1 delivery to Johnson. Outside, it'll go to a 2-1 count. Cody's been on base twice. He's looking to try and reach for a third time, and he takes high for a 3-1 count. He's well ahead. The Indians will get Zach Mandera up and thrown in the bullpen. Could possibly see him here in the later stages. 3-1 pitch outside for ball 4, and drawing a walk with 1 out. Cody Johnson will find his way on. When you trail by 4, you are just looking for base runners. Got to have guys on to be able to bring them around. So Johnson will get on third time in this ball game. That Cody Johnson will reach base. 1 on for Doran Gillespie as he'll take outside for ball 1. One-0 delivery coming up here from Latender. Swing and a miss. Big cut there by Gillespie. Got fooled with the off-speed pitch. Couldn't connect with it. And he finds himself with a 1-1 count. Gillespie, 1 for 2 in the game. He'll take high. Back pick down to first. Gets away. Johnson heading for second. That one's going to roll a while. Johnson's going to head around to third. Are they going to hold him at third? They're going to send him to the plate. That ball is deep in right field. The throw goes back to the infield. No one there to get it. And Cody Johnson will score all the way from first on the errant pickoff throw by the catcher, Jack Thompson. Oh, that is unexpected. 5-2. It's just a 3-run game now. It's a 2-1 count at the plate for Doran Gillespie. Now nobody on base with 1 out. Gillespie will foul it back for strike 2. Oh, that's something. That's a lot of grass out there. It can go a long ways out in right field, and that ball just kept rolling. Gillespie reaches for 1, taps it towards short, charging Ankeny. The throw on the run. No, not in time. Umpire at first is about to punch out Gillespie, but he changes his call as he is in the motion. And I would agree with him there. That looked like Gillespie beat that by a half step, and he gets an infield single. Great play by Zach Ankeny at short to even make it close. Tough play to be made on the infield grass, and he just couldn't quite get it there in time. So a man on with 1 away and a swing and foul ball for Terrell Jacks. Give him an 0-1 count. Terrell 0 for 2 in the game, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. With that run coming in to score here in the 6th inning, Roseburg down by 3, meaning the game-tying run is standing on deck at the moment in the form of Jet Black. 1 out so far here in the bottom of the 6th. Brandon Latender, the reliever, on for South Medford. He catches the outside corner for strike 2 against Jacks. Indians trailing 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th, finally getting some life. Getting something to break in their favor against South Medford. Pitch high, a 1-2 count. Roseburg took a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning, but gave up 4 runs in the top of the 3rd to South Medford and another run in the 4th. Trailing 5-1 at the time is a swing and a miss on a breaking ball for Terrell. He'll go down with the strikeout. Doran Gillespie will stand on first, as coming up to hit will be Jet Black with 2 down. Jet is 1 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch, swinging, he fouls it back. Looked like its timing was good, just got underneath it a little bit, needs to square it up. And that could have been a base knock there. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, just misses, and it's a 1-1 count. Jet drove in a run back in the 2nd. The 1-1 pitch to him. Strike on the inside corner. Gillespie will take his lead at first. A 1-2 pitch for Latender. Line drive shot to left field will get in. And Parnell will come up to get it. 2 out, 2 strike pitch taken to left field for Jet Black. 2 hits for him on the day. And the Indians will have runners at first and second with 2 down, and Garrett Russell coming up to hit. Back to the top of the lineup. Russell 1 for 3. Does he try to bunt his way on here? He doesn't show on the first pitch as he takes it low for a 1-0 count. Third base is playing back. Might be able to sneak one down the line if he tried. He'll hit it towards third base. Diving, it goes off the glove for Campbell at third, and it's into the left field grass. Heading to the plate, coming in to score will be Gillespie, and the Indians get 2 runs in here in the 6th. That'll be a single for Garrett Russell. Hard hit towards third base, went off the glove. Diving to get to it, Campbell couldn't make the play. And then scoring as the ball trickled into left field. Doran Gillespie scores from second, and the Indians are within 2. And we'll have a visit out to the mound here for the South Medford coaching staff. And it looks like they're going to make a move already. I believe they bring in the lefty from center field, Jacob Melton, going to be taking over on the mound. We'll get it all straightened away for you. It's a Shelby and Migulena construction call to the pen here in the bottom of the 6th. Roseburg with 2 runs in already, and South Medford making a pitching change. We'll come back after this 60-second break here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Swimming season is finally here. But remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Now team for South Medford, number 9, Jacob Milton.
Well, if you wanted to know how serious South Medford's taking this one against Roseburg, they've got a big week in front of them with a lot of games to be played, and everyone is going to be important on their road to a possible conference championship. Brandon Latender done after only got 2/3 of an inning pitched, and Jacob Melton will come in to try and wrap up this 6th inning and keep Roseburg off the board. The Indians with runners at first and second after our Shelby and Migulena call to the pen. Jacob Melton will take over on the mound, and Brandon Latender will go out to center field. Melton, the lefty, will fire in. First pitch to Caden Johnson is in for strike 1. Melton has been the guy to usually work in the 7th inning for South Medford. Is a foul ball there for Caden Johnson. Will give him an 0-2 count. Melton and the doubleheader against Grants Pass, last outing for South Medford. He pitched in the 7th inning of both games. His 0-2 delivery, a breaking ball, just misses outside. And it'll move to a 1-2 count here against Caden. Caden is 0 for 2 in this ball game. Had a sac bunt in the first, but he's flown out twice to right field. A 1-2 pitch to him here as Melton comes set, checks the bases, fires in. Ground ball towards second. In front of it, they'll flip to second and stays on the bag. The runner will be safe at second base. It was Owens trying to go with a flip to the bag, but coming off, Ankeny couldn't keep on. I think Ankeny probably was assuming Owens would go to first for the out there. And he was running to the bag a little bit too much and got pulled off with his momentum and the throw from Owens. And so a fielder's choice will put Caden Johnson on at first. Garrett Russell will be on at second with the error. And up to hit will be Jonathan Stone, who takes the first pitch for strike 1. Bases loaded, 2 out. And the Indians have the game-tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. And their best hitter at the plate, and Stone will take high and away for ball 1. Pitch misses outside to Stone, a 2-1 count for him now. The 2-1, excuse me. It does go to 3-1. Pitch low and outside, and a walk would bring in a run for the Indians. 3-1 pitch for Melton. Swing and a miss for Stone, and it'll go to a full count. Runners will be moving on the pitch. Stone steps out to gather his thoughts. 2 away, full count pitch coming up. Melton delivers. The ball's fouled back, and it'll keep going. Full count pitch coming up yet again for Melton, who was working quick before that last one. 1-for-3 day here for Stone. The pitch from Melton. Check swing, and they will appeal. Did he go around? The umpire's going to say yes, he did. And Jonathan Stone slammed his bat down. He tried to pull that back, and now Coach Thompson's just going to collect the batting helmets from the runners, not ask about that one. Well, it's a tough way for the inning to come to an end. The Indians will leave the bases loaded. They trail 5-3 as we go to the 7th inning. And that'll wrap up things here in the 6th. Head to the top of the 7th. Roseburg trails 5-3 on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
We get another call to the pen, brought to you by Shelby and Migulena Construction. On the mound for the Roseburg Indians to start this 7th inning will be Zach Mandera. Comes out to throw, trying to keep it a 2-run game. Roseburg getting 2 runs there in the bottom of the 6th inning to make it a 5-3 game. They left the bases loaded, though. A little bit of frustration shown by Jonathan Stone, who's usually a very stoic type of guy. All the Stone brothers. Chris, Matthew, who didn't play baseball but played basketball, got a chance to cover him there. And now Jonathan. They have all been very good. They don't show their emotions that much. They usually are pretty even-keeled.
The batter, number 13, Gio Botero.
Gio Botero will stand in here to lead things off for South Medford. New batter in for the Panthers as Mandera will fire and misses low and outside for ball 1. Botero taking in a pinch hitter for Jalen Parnell. A 1-0 delivery to Botero. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So a new pitcher and a new batter. And the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball in for strike 2. Mandera looking to try and make quick work here in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch, outside, overthrew that one for a 2-2 count. So Jay Stoffel exits the game for Roseburg after 6 innings worked. He takes over at third base. 6 innings worked. He gave up 8 hits and 5 runs in that time. 2-2 delivery coming up here for Mandera. It's outside and it'll go to a full count. Zach was ahead of the at-bat. And now has let Botero back into it. The full count pitch. Strike 3 called. Botero thought it was ball 4, and he goes down with the punch out. That's a good vibration strikeout for Zach Mandera, and there's one away. 5th strikeout of the game for South Medford. 4 of them for Jay Stoffel, and now 1 for Zach Mandera. It'll be Zach Ankeny, the shortstop, to stand in next with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch, outside for ball 1. Final line for Jay Stoffel. 6 innings worked, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. 1-0 delivery from Mandera is called for strike 1. Mandera enters today's game. A 1-1 pitch here. That ball hit in the air. Could be playable behind home. It'll get up and out of play, though. And into the grandstands to our right. Mandera, 40 innings worked this season. That's most on the team. Comes in with a 2.45 ERA. He's got a 5-2 win-loss record. He's looking to try and see if he can keep the Indians close in this one and maybe pick up a win late. There's a 1-2 pitch. Just upstairs. Goes to a 2-2 count. Stoffel's on the hook for the loss if the score stays in South Medford's favor, but if Roseburg can come back to win in the bottom of the 7th, it'd be Mandera to get the win. The 2-2 pitch, swinging a foul tip into the glove for strike 3. Two down now. And up next, Daniel Shank, the DH, hitting for the pitcher. Well, actually hitting for now the center fielder. Shank first pitch. It's towards third base. Stoffel up with it. Not going to get it there in time. Stoffel and Johnson, neither one really sure if the other was going to get to it. It kind of was a slow roller through the infield. And Stoffel, who should have probably just taken the initiative and cut it off to begin with, made the play late and threw across the diamond quickly. Shows off his strong arm, but he can't get it to the bag in time. And Shank will get on with an infield single. So 1 on and another pinch hitter to come up to hit against Zach Mandera with 1 on and 2 out. Hitting for Jaron Emerson is going to be Trevor Marthosky. First pitch to him. Called for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 count. So head coach Ray Smith looking to get a couple of guys some at-bats here in this ball game. His team leading by 2. Ground ball hit sharply towards short. Cody Johnson up with it, and he gets it over to Jonathan Stone for the final out of the top of the 7th. Roseburg trails 5-3 as we head to their final at-bats. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Jacob Melton on the mound trying to close it out for South Medford. Back with our final frame after this here on CBS Sports Radio 1490, The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. Through every triumph, we'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Well, the Roseburg Indians have given themselves a chance as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-3 is your score. And the Indians trailing South Medford as Jacob Melton will try to close it out. He'll face Brody Black to start off, and he fires a first pitch, strike one. Seventh inning here is brought to you by our friends at Chuck's Warm and Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Got jammed on a pitch. That one's going to go towards the first base coach's box. Out of the way, Tim Sester will duck out of the way as that foul ball from Brody Black will make it an 0-2 count. Brody Black today is 0 for 3. Strikeout and a pair of pop-outs. 0 for 2 here in this at-bat. Or 0-2, I should say. Jacob Melton looking for a quick inning of work. Swinging another foul ball for Brody, and he'll stay with the 0-2 count. Well, the Roseburg Indians trying for a miraculous comeback to hand South Medford their first loss of the season if they can do it. The 0-2, high for a 1-2 count. First loss of the league season, I should clarify. South Medford came in 13-3 on the year, but 10-0 in conference. Ground ball towards short. Ankeny in front of it. Goes to one knee. Comes up. Throws across. And it's there to get Brody for out number 1. One down, and the Indians will need to get their rally going with a little bit of a rally here with one out. Standing in is Zach Mandera, now the pitcher for Roseburg. He's 1 for 3 in the ballgame. First pitch. Misses high and inside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is delivered in for a strike. Evens up the count against Mandera. Zach had a single back in the third inning, as he'll take for a 2-1 count. Jacob Melton wasting no time in between pitches. He's actually told there to slow down a bit by the home umpire. The 2-1 is low, and it'll go to a 3-1 count for Zach Mandera. Melton's 3-1 delivery is low for ball 4, and the Indians will bring the game-tying run to the plate. Mandera draws the walk. He's on at first. Cody Johnson will bat next for the Indians. The Indians needing 2 to tie this game up and force extras. 3 would give Roseburg a walk-off win. The first pitch for Johnson, he'll take for strike 1. Timing up the pitch. First time he's facing off against Jacob Melton here in today's ball game. The 0-1 pitch from Melton. Slap towards the right side will get in. They're going to send Mandera up to third. Johnson takes a turn, but he'll hold at first. And Mandera all the way to third, standing up, going opposite field. Cody Johnson picks up his first hit of the ball game, but he's been on base all 4 times he's been up. And a big hit there will put runners on the corners for Roseburg. Game-tying run on at first, and the Indians will bring the game-winning run to the plate. And they'll bring in a courtesy runner for Cody. It'll be Luke Van Norman that will run at first. There'll be a pinch runner, Van Norman, going in. Up to hit, Doran Gillespie. First pitch, called for a strike. Gillespie looked like he was trying to time that one up as well. Gillespie 2 for 3 in this ballgame. Last time reached on an infield single. The 0-1, high and away for a 1-1 count. Reached on base in the 6th inning on that infield single. Had a sharply hit ground ball down the third base line back in the 2nd. Did score a run in the 6th, looking to try and drive one in here. The 1-1 to him. It's fouled back for strike 2. Runners at first and third, 1 away here in the 7th inning. Roseburg trailing by 2. Have the game-tying run on base. 1 ball, 2 strikes against Gillespie. Jacob Melton on the mound. The lefty fires. Gillespie fights it off. He'll stay alive. Nice job to get his hands inside. Pretty impressive. From the lefty to the righty. That pitch was riding in on Gillespie, but he got his hands down and inside and able to get a piece of it. It was a borderline pitch. Could have been strike 3. He'll chop this one foul. Stays alive again with another 1-2 pitch coming up from Jacob Melton. Battle going on here against Doran Gillespie and Jacob Melton. Melton almost up to 30 pitches in his short outing. He's only pitched 2/3 of an inning so far. The 1-2 pitch. Gillespie fights off another one, fouls it down the first base side of the visiting dugout. This 7th inning has been brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? 1 ball, 2 strikes against Gillespie. Thompson sets up outside. Melton delivers. It goes back to the mound. They go to second for 1. The throw to first. And South Medford will wrap up the victory. Double play. 1-6-3. And that'll do it. Roseburg makes them sweat it out a little bit. But South Medford will pick up the victory. Luke Van Norman was thrown out at second base. And then Gillespie wraps up the double play out at first. The Indians will get swept by South Medford this season, but they made them work for it here in the final of the season series, as the Roseburg Indians will fall to 8-5 in conference play, and South Medford will move to 11-0 in the Southwest Conference. That'll wrap things up here for this one. We'll go to the Roseburg Disposal post-game show when we return. Don't go anywhere, folks. More Roseburg baseball coming up for you here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
So I heard Kelly takes a different one home every night.
Yeah, I heard she took 2 home last night.
I even heard she likes the small ones.
No wonder she's in such good shape.
At Pita Pit, with so many healthy options full of lean grilled meats and fresh veggies, and even small pitas for smaller appetites, you can have our pitas any way you want. And we won't judge. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
Our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Well, our Roseburg Indians fall a little bit short here today, but they did give themselves some opportunities as they take on conference leader South Medford, but fall tonight 5-3, your final score. As we welcome you into the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. Coming up during the postgame show, we'll take a look at how things played out, try and get you some scores from other games around the Southwest Conference as we look at our Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard updates, and we will name our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning player of the game. Your final score, 5-3, 5 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for South Medford. For Roseburg, 3 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for the Indians. As they fall, Roseburg goes to 12-6 on the year, 8-5 in conference play. South Medford goes to 14-3 and 11-0 in Southwest Conference play. We'll come back after a 2-minute break and put a bow on this one. We'll tell you how it all played out and get you all the final statistics from this one. Roseburg and South Medford, it goes in favor of the Panthers. Here from Legion Field today, you're listening to Roseburg Baseball on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
This is for the person stuck in the office. The 9-to-5er. The person who eats, sleeps, and drinks the outdoors. During business hours, you play the part. And in the mountains, you're home. But on the water, you go with the flow. This is for the angler, the hiker, the hunter, the adventurer, and you. Shop one of over 80 locations.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff. You know what I like. That's right. Give me some of that.
Sir, you're creeping out everyone else in line.
Sorry. I mean, could I get onions on that?
With all the lean meats, fresh veggies, and tasty toppings to choose from at Pita Pit, eating healthy is something to get excited about. Just not too excited. Pita Pit. Fresh thinking, healthy eating.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Come back here with more of the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in for today's broadcast, whether you listened on the radio, listened online, or maybe listened to or watched today's game streaming at 541radio.com. The Roseburg Disposal post-game show, taking a look at how today's game plays out. 5-3 the final score. 5 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 9 men left on base for South Medford. Roseburg 3 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors, and 10 men left on base. Picking up the victory will be Ricky Bortz, who goes 5 innings, gave up 5 hits. He allows 1 run. It was unearned. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts for Bortz as he picks up the victory. Brandon Latender, he got touched up the most. He pitched only 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout for him. Didn't make it out of the 6th inning. Jacob Melton came on in relief for South Medford, and he picks up the save, pitching an inning and a third. Over that time, he allowed 1 hit and 1 walk, 1 strikeout for him as well, but he leaves the Indians stranded and does not allow the Roseburg Indians to score the game-tying run here in today's contest. So Bortz gets the win. Melton takes the save. Taking the loss, his first of the season, Jay Stoffel pitches 6 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. He did hit a batter in there as well. Zach Mandera came on and pitched the 7th inning. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts in the inning of relief. But not a bad pitching performance from Jake Stoffel. Just didn't get all the help he needed from his defense out there on what are normally some rather routine plays for the Roseburg Indians out there on the defensive side. They just didn't quite come up with all the plays they needed to here today, and it ends up coming back to haunt them just a little bit in this contest. 5-3 the final score. Roseburg challenging South Medford. Put a good effort out there against the Panthers today. Just wasn't enough to get them the victory. Taking a look at some of the offensive numbers in the game, 9 hits for South Medford. Taking a look at leading the way for them. 2 hits on the day for Jalen Owens and 2 hits for Zach Ankeny. And then a lot of other players with base knocks in the game today. Jacob Melton goes 1 for 4 in this game with a pair of strikeouts. Really, it was very impressive by Jay Stoffel the way he pitched against Jacob Melton. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to have as much success against everybody. Clint Campbell had a 1-for-4 day in 1-for-3 day. Jalen Owens had the 2 hits, goes 2 for 3. Jack Thompson was 0 for today. He goes 0 for 4, but did have an RBI on a ground out. Jalen Parnell goes 1 for 2 on the day, scored a run and had a stolen base. 2 hits in the game for Zach Ankeny, goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. And Daniel Schenk goes 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. Jaron Emerson goes goes 0 for 3. Robbie Carl goes 1 for 3 in the game. So that is your base knocks there for South Medford in the game. On the other side, Garrett Russell for Roseburg was able to pick up a hit in this one. Actually, he finished with 2 hits. Excuse me, I forgot about the first one. 2 for 4 day for Garrett. Other base knocks, 1 for 4 today for Jonathan Stone. He came up in some big moments and couldn't cash in for the Indians. Did have a base hit, though, to continue his hit streak up to 10 games now. Let's see here. Zach Mandera goes 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. Cody Johnson goes 1 for 2 in this game, reached base all 4 times, scored twice, and got on base in the 7th inning. He was the game-tying run. He got pulled for a pinch runner, but unfortunately, Luke Van Norman, who came in to run, was thrown out the front end of a double play to finish out the game for the Indians. Doran Gillespie goes 2 for 4 in the ballgame, but again, unfortunately, hit into the game-ending double play. And Jet Black goes 2 for 3 at the bottom of the lineup with 2 singles, had an RBI in there as well. So that is a look at your offensive numbers for the Roseburg Indians here today as they fall against South Medford 5-3, your final score. Well, as we make our way through the Roseburg Disposal post-game show, it's time to take a look at your Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update. Again, our final score, 5-3. Was hoping to see if I might be able to find a final score of Roseburg softball for you, but I don't feel like I have that at the moment. And Roseburg softball with a win today would clinch a playoff berth, but I'm not looking like I'm going to find that for you here in the post-game show, so we will definitely get that for you up at 541radio.com a little bit later on. Final from the Southwest Conference, North Medford beats Willamette in one of the other games going on today. The final score there, as let's see here, it was 4-0 North Medford winning against Willamette in the Southwest Conference. So Roseburg's going to fall to 8-5. North Medford will go to 5-8. Willamette goes to 2-13. That we know. South Medford goes to 11-0. South Eugene was taking on Sheldon. If Sheldon wins, they'd be 7-5, trailing Roseburg, who's at 8-5, and South Eugene would go to 9-6 on the year. So it's a tight race there for the 2 through 4 spots in the 2 through 4 spots in the Southwest Conference. It's going to be a tight finish throughout that one. Can report that the JV game won. Actually, that is an old score in my text messages with JV head coach Justin O'Byrne. So I don't know if JV won today or not, actually. But that is your quick look there at the Garrettson Building Supply scoreboard update. Not a lot to report to you other than Willamette won against North Medford in the Southwest Conference baseball games today as well. All right, folks, that'll pretty much do it for us here, except for it is time now to name our Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game. Your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call Mahalo today at 672-6707. Oh, looking at it today, the Indians just coming up short in those critical moments, but I'm going to give the Player of the Game award to Cody Johnson tonight. He got on base all 4 times this evening, didn't get a lot of hits, had just the 1 base knock, but he scores 2 of Roseburg's 3 runs, gets on base all 4 times, so he makes the most of his plate appearances by getting on and scoring. Cody Johnson, your Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning Player of the Game tonight. That'll about pretty much do it for us here this evening. The Roseburg Indians fall 5-3 against South Medford. Roseburg will try to bounce back. Is coming up next. They will take on the Sheldon Irish coming up tomorrow. Excuse me, not tomorrow, but on Saturday. The Indians will take on the Irish. It'll be a doubleheader here from Legion Field, so tune in for that. The doubleheader will start at noon, and our pregame coverage will start at 11:45 Saturday morning. As we wrap up our broadcast tonight, we want to say thanks to South Medford for being here tonight. Say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Troy Thompson, and the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on The Score. Say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for his production work tonight, and a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself tonight. Also want to say thanks to Tommy and Jason from Sunrise Enterprise for joining us here in the booth tonight. It was a pleasure to get to know them after a couple of visits to the radio station, and it's been a lot of fun to share my love of radio with those folks as they made their trip here to the game tonight to see how it's done. I hope they had a great time in the booth. It's been a lot of fun to share what I know about radio broadcasting with them, and hopefully they learn something and can take that going forward with the adventures that they're going on. But appreciate Sunrise Enterprise sending them down here to join us with today's broadcast. All right, folks, that'll do it for you. We will wrap it up there. We hope that you tune in when the Roseburg Indians take on Sheldon here at Legion Field. The doubleheader coming up on Saturday. Our broadcast coverage will start at 11:45. You can tune in to watch the game streaming live at 541radio.com or follow the action with us right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio. 1490, The Score. Okay.